Good morning. So, I was telling you the story of the biggest sale that I ever closed, to be used as a framework for how you can close any sale that you desire. So far, we've covered the first two steps, selling the influencers first and setting the stage. So here we are. We are in the San Francisco Bay Area, my favorite city on earth. We just celebrated New Year's Eve the night before at a special party that I had arranged at the top of the Bank of America building, overlooking the whole magnificent city. Some of our cherished friends flew in for the evening. They all knew the plan for the following day, but none of them, thankfully, let on. That morning, I had a picnic lunch prepared. We drove over the Golden Gate Bridge. We hiked up to a spot that I had previously scoped out, and it was a spectacular vista point over the whole city. After wine, cheese, chocolates had been distributed, I moved into step 3. Step 3 is tell the story. From that vista point, you're looking through the Golden Gate Bridge, which looks like it's only 5 feet away. And through it, you see the dazzle of the San Francisco skyline. It is absolutely spellbinding. I start telling the story of how the Golden Gate Bridge was built against all odds, against many naysayers who said it wasn't possible because it was too expansive and it was too risky. However, against all those odds, in 1937, the Golden Gate Bridge became the longest suspension bridge in the world and was declared as one of the wonders of the modern world by the American Society of Civil Engineers. Today, the bridge is one of the most internationally recognized symbols in the world. Because of it, 2 great lands, like 2 great families, were bridged. San Francisco with Marin County, bridging both through US Route 101 and the California Route 1 across the mile-wide strait. And every January 1st, my tradition is to set my goals for the year. So I invited her to do the same. I brought out 2 of my Living Your Best Year Ever journals so that we could write down our goals for the year ahead. I suggested that we write out 10 goals. Then we went back and forth sharing what our goals were from 10 to 1. I was the last one to share my number 1 goal. And that's when I said I was going to complete it right now. And I swung around in front of her, said some very loving things. Hey, I can't tell you everything here. And by this time, her heart is racing and her eyes are welling thick. And then we move into step 4. Now you gotta wow. You can't just deliver on expectations. You have to exceed them. Don't just go for a 10 on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest. I always go for a 13. I think it is to ensure success. When you bring the wow, it's nearly impossible to say no. That's what you want to do in your sales presentations too. So I open up this beautiful jewelry box where I'd had a very sparkling ring that I had designed, inspired by a design that we saw together at a Cartier shop one day strolling through Union Square. Now note, I haven't even asked the question yet, by the way. The key point here is deliver the wow before you ask for the signature. But now that she's had her eyes fixated on the rock before her, then I went in for the close with the whole "will you be my wife" line. Of course, I got the affirmative, or certainly I wouldn't be sharing this story with you now. By the way, the real wow was when I told her how I had met privately with all her friends, her brothers, her mom, and her dad. That is when she really started to cry. That sentiment seemed to mean the most to her. Hey, if I'd have known that, maybe I could have scaled back on the rock size, right? No, of course I'm kidding. Or am I? Now here's step number 5. And this is an important one, as one too many salespeople forget and it costs them. The post-sale. Step number 5. Prevent what is called buyer's remorse. After we tidied up our spot on the Merritt Headlands, we drove back across the Golden Gate Bridge, which had a whole new meaning to it now. I took her to one of the most beautiful hotels in all of the city, the Mark Hopkins Hotel on top of Nob Hill, where I had a suite reserved overlooking the expansive city lights, a bottle of Dom Perignon on ice, chilled chocolate-covered strawberries, and 2 brand new luxury robes waiting for us, ones that I had pre-embroidered, one with my initials and one with her new initials embroidered on it. That is what is called future visioning, and getting your new client to see or experience live their new future with your product or service. You want it to become part of their new identity. It is also called assuming the sale. Bam! So there you have it. The 5 steps to closing any sale, particularly if it is a bit above your head to begin with. Number 1, enroll the influencers. 2, set the stage. Environment matters. Set it up right and where and how. 3, tell the story. imbued with emotion. You're selling the heart, not the mind. 4, wow, leave nothing to chance. Always bring a 13 when a 10 might have worked. And 5, the post-sale. Everyone second guesses their decisions. You have to have this built into your sales plan. Tell us, of the 5 steps to closing any sale, which do you need to work on the most? Tell us that in the comments below. Hey now, since we are on the topic of influencing folks, if you haven't seen the training that I did on persuasion, how to get anyone to say yes to you, then I will post a link to it below. If you need to close a big sale or ask for a raise or negotiate a contract or influence your team members to do what you want, or to convince your spouse or friends to do what you want, or to get your kids to do what you want, you'll want the tips provided in this free series. It's entirely free. It's my treat. Enjoy.